Good morning, friends. Myself, Dr. Atul. It's lecture 2 of week 7. In this, we discuss about the weight training sessions and other parts. So, how much is too much for the young athletes? And the progressively increasing. So, while asking young athletes for weight training or resistance training, one should be kept in mind how much is too much, and it should not be like they are fully grown. Their bones are not fully developed. Their bone has to be growing, and they are not technically so sound. So the coach who is asking them, so first his emphasis on the light weights and the correct methodology of that weight training or resistance training. It might be with the help of TheraBand or loops, or with the help of free weights, or with the machines. We introduce resistance training. It should be light in weight or light in resistance and more in repetitions of 1, 2 or 3 sets, and these repetitions may be 15 or repetitions, and with the light weights also. And in young athletes, till the time he doesn't attain his maturity, 80% of 1 RM should be maximum he has to lift. Once he become a professional athlete, and he's can lift his 1 RM also, but under close supervision. So any injury or any physiological disturbances like growth plate or other can be evaluated, treated effectively. So he can not he can pursue his career, because of irregular or unscientific increase in load causes the. So while 80% of 1 RM, and those who are practicing, or those who are training for a long duration, and their skills and their weight training they are doing for a longer duration, they can increase their further weight, but not all of a sudden. And in general, those they have just started, they should be started with the free weights rather than the resistance band, because sometimes at the end of those resistance band, the resistance is quite high rather than the free weights, and free weights should be allowed to them 8 to 15 repetitions they are doing correctly. If not, then the weight should be reduced. There should not be in the mind of an athlete कि I have to compete, or my colleague is lifting so much of weight, why should not I? So these things has to be clear by the coaches to them, and it should be closely monitored. In this age, proper skill and interactive cross training should be there, so there all skills required for the development of a game is fully covered. It should not be that if a person is playing football, or a batsman is just practicing for batting, or a cricketer is practicing for cricket, they should be allowed to play some other games with lesser intensity, so their other body parts or the growth can be properly exercised. But in western countries, and a few games in which they pick up athletes quite young, like ballet and gymnastics, they pick kids quite young, so their skeletal maturity, or they suffer from particular type of abnormality, or if they only practice a single game, so their cross training, like involvement with they ask them to play, the coach asks them to play some other games also, but their main aim is remain the specific game, like gymnastic and belly dancing. Young athletes are also prone for the nutritional deficiencies, peer pressure. They do lot of snacking. They don't eat on time as compared to the adult athletes. They are aware about the importance of the correct nutrition, but the younger athletes, they go by the test, and if the sports drink or the snacks is not as per their taste, they don't eat, and sometimes they just forgot to eat or they forgot to drink after heavy exercises, or they end up in a nutritional deficiency. Simultaneously, in the competitive sports like gymnastic, belly dancing, the body image also cause them to diet more to reduce more fat, though they are already very thin, but still they keep dieting, and these things has to be checked frequently by the coaches and the other supportive staffs. Always be there to guide those children's the importance of good snacking, and avoid trans fats, and avoid those refined easily available snacks like chips or burger and refined pizzas. And their diet should be balanced. At least if young athlete is doing training for in a day 1 to 1.5 hours in an entire day, then he might require 2 gram per kilogram of body weight of his protein, and it may be less, but it depends all on the how much training he is doing, and the feet part is also be under control, and it should be around 20 to 30% of his body, his daily nutritional intake. Females required more, and male might be required little bit less as per their weight. And carbohydrate makes the main energy sources, and it should be complex carbohydrate rather than the complex carbohydrate are much better. The minerals and vitamins should be appropriately taken by the athletes. Eating disorders generally they develop with the wrong body image, peer pressure, emotional lability, and sometimes they have a false feeling of obesity, or the sometime those who are obese they start playing some game, or their parents bring them to the sports club. Ki my son is overweight now, we want to him to join this academy so he can lose the weight. So when this kind of kid join some club or some sports activity, the coach keep in mind ki he is not a professional athlete, or he is just come, and his activity should be monitored, and it should be enjoyable, so he can enjoy that part rather than ridicule him about his performance. Ask him to do continuously engage in activity which he can be busy for an hour or so. So the more he remain engaged, the more his energy consumption will be more, and he will be losing weight in a scientific manner. Otherwise, what will happen to the while when he is only concentrating on speed or some skill? So that will be lasted very less, and the energy consumption is not compared to endurance activities. Adolescent, though male and female both are athletes, can suffer from the eating disorders like bulimia or anorexia, but females are more prone because their games and their pre-pressure and their self body image causes these two kind of, and sometimes their performance leads them to eat in a anxiety, and the only solution is good counseling and good interaction with them, and educate them about the good snacking, and will automatically come when their confidence will build up, they're good in nutrition, and if 100 plays only one can be a number one. So if we educate ki you must enjoy the part of game, if you are good then you automatically come number one, so keep doing hard work. So there are few tips for the parents and the coaches. First we talk about the for the parents. So the parents of these young or adult athletes should encourage their kids for to play, not force them to play. If the voice comes from their inside, they will automatically join their sports, and they will enjoy that sports. Otherwise, it's just like a burden for them and landed in some problem. And the other thing is also key. Sometimes parents or guardians, they become so, or coaches, they become so performance centric. Athletes always in the under pressure because he's not fully and mentally and emotionally not fully grown up, so it is damage his emotion, and his performance is again make a vicious cycle. So coaches and parents should understand, they should encourage their athlete kid for the efforts which he is putting, not the performance which is a outcome. So if one should increase his efforts, and that should be appreciated, and allow him and encourage him to participate in the competitions. And the later age he can participate in the any type of competition, whether it's educational or in the professional games also, and it overall develops as a good human being. And ask them for the putting a honest effort rather than doing only concentrate only winning of the game. Parents role also, if abusive in nature and they abuse the coaches, the judges, while if they have taken some uh, not a not favorable for them, and they start abusive, so their kids learn those things from their parents, and they also start abusing the judges also. And parents should always respect coaches and support staff. It should not be there they are abusive in nature to the coaches, and if their son is not performing, they start causing ruckus over there. And so it is not because the effort is more important in these young athletes, and everyone can't be on the podium. Same thing for the coaches, as these athletes are young, and so they require proper time and efforts from their sides. And when he's part of team, or he's giving coaching to number of the sportsmen, he should give equal opportunity to his all the athletes. One should not feel he plays good, so he only gets chance. Uh, and so everybody should get equal or enough chances to play or perform. In the beginning only, when they join, when they start enjoying the game, a coach should taught the basic rules of the game. So once they grown up, or they go for the participation, they are fully aware about what is the rule position of those games. And coach should be more aware that playing is more important rather than winning a competition for the young athletes. And if he feels this athlete requires special attention, or he required some consultation from the doctors, or his performance is deteriorating, then he should not hesitate to ask, or he should not hesitate to consult with the or refer to the specialist. Coaches are the one who develops team spirit in the his team and his sportsmen and his athletes. And the same thing goes to the athletes. He should not use a derogative language or abusive language to his sportsmen or athletes. Thank you so much. Here we completed our adolescent athletes.